Welcome. You're listening to The Aligned Self, Conversations in Creating a Conscious and Abundant Life. This is Daniel Denovi. I'll be your guide and host. Let's see just where we can take this. Hello, friend, and welcome back. Now, this is episode 2 of How to Thrive as an Empath. And if you haven't yet listened to episode 1, the previous episode, by all means go back there first, because it's going to make a whole lot more sense as we go forward, because I'm not going to recap very much in this episode. So I'm just going to start in where I left off. So if that's the case, if you haven't listened to episode 1, stop now, go back to episode 1, and then come back here. All right. Now, in last episode, I talked a lot about physical things you can do to shift your energy, to come back to neutral, to neutralize the energy that you've taken on from others. Now, understand that you are a psychic soma being. How you use your body affects your mind, your psyche. How you use your mind, your psyche, affects your body. Psychic soma. It's the psychic soma loop. So now we're going to change the focus of your mind to shift your energy. And what are you going to focus on? Your breathing. Now, I want you to get off by yourself. Go to a quiet spot. Sometimes I've gone to the bathroom and sat on the throne, not doing anything. I just went there to decompress. Now, it's not always the most pleasant in there, but it is a place to get away to. Find some corner of the house, a bedroom, sequester yourself. Go outside, go to your car. And as you assume a comfortable position, put your feet flat on the ground, put your palms down on your thighs, and imagine a cord, a grounding cord, going from the base of your spine, down your legs and through your feet into the ground, right down to the core of the earth. And that is where you're going to ground the energy. In the moment you visualize this cord, and if you're not really good at visualizing, just get the feeling that there is a cord connecting you to the center of the earth. And then immediately begin feeling that negative energy, the stagnant energy flowing down that cord, down that channel like a hose, just going right down to the center of the earth. And then begin to focus on your breathing. Now, it's helpful if you close your eyes, and when you do, smile inside with your eyes. Allow your eyes to smile. Just hold this inner smile. And as you breathe, I want you to breathe in a particular rhythmic fashion. I'd like you to take a breath in for a count of 4. So as you breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want you to hold it at the top of the breath for 2 to 4 seconds. So you're not going to immediately exhale. You're going to hold it for a moment or two, and then you're going to exhale. If you breathed in for a count of 4, I want you to breathe out for a count of 8. And as you do, I want you to engage your diaphragm consciously. So as you're breathing out, you're going to contract your diaphragm, contract your abdominal muscles, and you're going to imagine your belly button being pulled back towards your spine. And as you do, you'll push out the residual breath. Now, as you take on energy from other places, naturally what happens is your anxiety level moves up and you become a shallow breather. You breathe more shallowly from that fight or flight response, and you actually activate your stress response. In not breathing fully, completely, and deeply, we actually hamper the system of self-regulation. We hamper the system to repair itself. So we want to return to that open breath and that inner smile. You'll feel the muscles around your eyes just soften and be gentle. And you're going to breathe like this 4, 5, 10 times, which you can do this all within a minute or two. You can shift your state really fast. The fastest way to shift your state, your emotional state, is to shift your breathing. It's taking a process of the body that's on the autonomic system and engaging conscious focus on, and it engages the parasympathetic response. You actually relax your body on a deep level and very quickly. Now, we can go into breathing I have all kinds of breathing exercises that we can talk about, probably not on a podcast because it's problematic. I'll probably create a small training for that I'll offer up for free or for a nominal investment. So again, the process is send your grounding cord, your grounding wire down to the center of the earth. If you can't visualize it, get a sense of it, feel the energy begin draining out, and then focus on your breath. Close your eyes, smile gently with your eyes, soften the muscles, and feel that inner smile. Just smile with your eyes. It just feels so good. If you do that when you meditate, it increases the benefits tenfold, easily. So then you're going to focus on your breathing. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold it at the top of your breath for 2 or 4, and then double on the exhale. Exhale for a count of 8. Sometimes I can exhale for 10, 12. Now, I've been breathing, diaphragmatic breathing for a long time, so I can actually inhale for a count of 8 to 10, hold it for 8, and then exhale for 12, push everything out, and then hold it at the bottom of the breath. You do it easy. And you may actually find that you become short of breath. If that's the case, take a pause. And then once you recapture your breathing, it normalizes, then begin again. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for 2 or 4 at the top, exhale twice as long for a count of 8, hold it briefly at the moment, and then breathe in again for a count of 4. Now, if you feel congestion in your head, in your brain space, because of the energetic load, then I want you to, as you breathe in through your nose, touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth, almost like draining the energy out of your head space, and then right down the cord, out your body. Now, while I suggested you get away by yourself, this is something you can do. Aside from shutting your eyes, this is something you can do while you're driving. Just breathe in while you're driving, breathe in for a count of 4, and just become very aware, very present to the traffic. That pulls you into the present moment. But you'll breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for a couple, and then slowly exhale, contracting your stomach muscles, pulling your belly button back towards your spine, pushing all the air out, and the beginning again. And don't forget your grounding cord, which, since you're driving, you can connect it down through the tires, and it'll be just like an electrostatic discharge into the earth. But this breathing exercise will shift your state, shift your state of mind to a healthier place almost immediately. Like I said, between 1 and 3 minutes is all you have to do and invest in this. You can do it first thing in the morning, middle of the day, and again in the evening. And if there's one singular practice you put in place in your entire life, let it be this breathing. Let it be this breathing process. Let it be just the focus on your breath, taking a minute or 2 out of your day, 2 or 3 times a day, and getting back to neutral, getting back to center. So I talked about that physical practice, that mental physical practice in reclaiming yourself, reclaiming your energy, and getting back to center. But let's talk about why you take this energy on to begin with. Frankly, you're wide open. You're not discriminating. Your boundaries aren't there. You're not saying, I'm not taking that energy on. And I see it all over in these Facebook groups, these intuitive groups, where people say, I'm an empath. And they wear it like a badge, like, oh, I'm at the mercy. I'm at the effect of life. I'm at the effect of other people's energy. Take pity on me. I'm an empath. I don't mean to make fun of you, but it is not a place of power. It's a place of victimhood. Like you're at the mercy of outside energies, outside stimuluses. And if that's you, if that's the case, just remember that it's only because you were ignorant. And I don't mean to, you're not stupid. You just didn't know. You didn't know that you could claim your power. Because the way it's put out there, you're an empath. And some people say, I'm spiritually evolving. I've woken up. Well, you've just basically opened up your receiver. And now you have to reclaim your boundaries, reclaim your energy, and reclaim your vibration. You see, in being open, you're basically an open receiver. You're open to receive any vibration, any frequency that's out there. And what you want to do is elevate your vibration. You want to vibrate at a whole new level to where anything of a lower vibration will simply pass through you. Like you're not a receiver for that frequency. Think of a radio station or a radio set. At 97.2 is country, and if you put it to 101.3, you're not going to receive country. You're going to get rock, at least in this area. But depending on the radio station you tune into, that is the only signal that you will receive. And so, if you're taking on other people's negative energy, you're actually an energetic match to receive that energy. To coin a phrase from Karate Kid, the best way to not get hit is not be there when the punch is thrown. So how you raise your frequency is actually tune in to broadcast. You're broadcasting. You're going to broadcast a stronger signal than's coming in. And you're going to broadcast love. Unconditional love and acceptance. If somebody shows up with a negative vibe, you don't judge them. You don't make them wrong. They're going through what they're going through. They are what they are. They're who they are, and they need not be otherwise. They don't have to accommodate. They don't have to change for you. You become a source for yourself. And in being this broadcast of love, this is the real path. This is the real role of an empath. Because you're so in tune to energy, your job is when you encounter disparate energies out in the world is to transmute them. You change their vibration. You see, energy never dissipates. It only recreates to another space and time, a different vibration. And so what you want to do is be able to raise the vibration, raise the space, raise the energy in the space through your intention, through your focus to love and light. And I don't mean to be too airy-fairy, but light is a real power. And if you can imagine a white light, a golden light, you pick the color that is most resonant with you, that's most resonant with your being, as coming in through the top of your head and coming down through the top chakra, in through your third eye, and then out your heart and projecting outward. You see, the energy is not coming from you. It's going to be coming through you. And there is an abundance, an overabundance of energy in the ether, in the universe. And it can be and you call in the most divine energy possible. Now, you don't need to protect yourself. You don't need to, because in that concept, let me go into this, because a lot of people, there's teachers out there that will tell you to surround yourself with white light to create a barrier. And while that may work to a degree, the underlying belief, the sponsoring belief that's underneath there, that's not talked about, that's implied, is that you are a victim. You're at the mercy of outside energy, that other people, if you're not careful, other people can influence you. You see, the place that I want you to get to is that you have dominion, that you claim dominion over your energy, over your space, over your psyche, over your body. You are such a powerful being. You have so much energy, so much potential that's available to you. All you have to do is claim it. Are you ready to claim it? If so, all you have to do is decide and then walk in the world as if your energy is all important. Do not tolerate people in your life that is draining your energy, causing you grief. Just say, brother, sister, I'm not playing that game anymore. If you want to stay friends with them, say, I love you and I want to stay friends with you, but I can't talk about this stuff anymore. It just sucks the life out of me. And this is you setting your boundary. Now, this is something you can do on your own. You can just take everything that I've talked about in this podcast, in the last podcast too, and shift your state, be in the world in a different way. But this is also something that I teach inside my course, the intuition course, on how to be responsible for your energy, how to claim your energy, how to claim your boundaries, how to actually be able to say, or become unmessable with. Because isn't that what we all want? We don't want to be influenced or overly influenced by outside forces. We want to have dominion over ourself, dominion over our mind, our body, and our energy. Now, if you want to learn more about the intuition course, you can go to yesdaniel.com/50. And there'll be a short video. You enter your introduction, and then you enter your email, and you'll get access to a short training. It's about 30 minutes long. The 6 steps, the 6 phases to access your intuitive guidance, your inner guidance. But also on that page, I have the curriculum for the course, and I haven't filled in this part about empaths, but there is a whole section on energy, mapping your intuitive guidance through your energetic field, actually looking at your guidance from multiple perspectives and running it through the energy field out into the world to see how does it resonate. But I don't want this to be a big commercial for the course. Either you'll be pulled to the course or not. I didn't have a course like this, so I had to work through this all on my own. I had to figure out, on my own in my own personal self-defense. So it took me 10 to 20 years to come to terms with, I'm teaching that in the course. So you'll get there much faster, because I think this is a critical time. And this is not just about the course, just in being responsible for your energy, being responsible for your psyche is important in this time in our country, in the world. You have opposing information. You have different views, different people spouting different things. So how do you tune in to your intuitive guidance? How do you access your own internal BS detector? How do you turn in and discern what is right? And it may not be right for everybody, but what is right for you? So this podcast episode, the last 2 episodes, and the course is all about accessing your power, standing in your power in the face of the changing dynamics, the changing energies in the world, but also in our evolution in mankind, humankind, in the species. As we're moving into a higher degree of telepathy between individuals, we're going to be reading each other's minds. We already do in a way that most of you are aware of. You're sensitive to other people's energy. You can pick it up. You can tell when someone's lying. You can tell when something's off, but you may not quite be there to be able to define it yet. But you do know something's off. You do know something's weird. And then again, as an empath, you're going to pick up on the fear that's out in the world. And so how do you ground that? How do you send it out of your body and not take it on as yours? Where do you end and where do the others begin? And you can answer that just by asking the question and then getting silent, tuning in. Where does it feel like it's coming from? Does it feel like it's coming from you? Is it a result of your thinking? Is it a result of your focus? Or does it seem to be coming out of nowhere? Were you feeling one way a couple moments ago and suddenly you're irritated? Suddenly you're off. Like if my wife gets agitated about something going on in the world or something else, even with me, I feel it, like I can feel it between my shoulder blades. I'll start getting a tightness, like a knot that'll be there. And I'll have to back off out of the conversation because she's an intense woman, of course. And so I can feel that vibe. I can feel that actually in my body physically when she's projecting it out. And so I have to deflect it, use my energetic kung fu and deflect it off. And then I raise my vibration and I send her love and I focus on her with the eyes of love, unconditional love, to soften that energy, to strengthen her, to raise her vibration, to transmute that. And I don't want to sound like my wife is problematic. It's just that she is looking at what's going on in the world and she has some particular concerns. We have an autistic child he's in his 20s, but he's like a child in his mind. And so it's how is the world going to be for him? How is the world going to be for her other son who's in his 20s and going to be out in the world? We have certain resources that we can use to interact. And so we want to equip our children to make sure that they can ground and they can manage their energy with all the different things going on in the world. As you may know, at the beginning of 2020, there was some huge planetary alignments that causing a big shift. At the end of 2020, on December 21st, there was another huge planetary alignment that hasn't happened in our lifetime. The last time it happened was during the Renaissance. Huge shifts in culture, huge shifts in the way people lived. So if you don't know about the planetary alignments, at least you've been feeling the shifts in the world. Old structures and systems are being torn down. new ways of operating in the world, new paradigms, new ways of doing business. We are moving through a total shift in what it means to be on planet Earth. And with all this change, there's a lot of fear, a lot of conflicting messages, a lot of conflicting ideas, different parties, different agendas, and you really need to be able to tune in and use your BS detector. But how you can be a contributing factor to change the energy out there is to broadcast love. And sometimes that sounds so airy-fairy. Be a source of love and light. But there is power in that. When you focus your intention, when you're in the state of gratitude and appreciation, I love and appreciate. And when you recognize the humanity, the struggles in humanity, of knowing what is the right thing to do, of being doubtful, waking up and not knowing what's going to happen today, what's going to happen tomorrow. When you can focus in on love and be a source of loving energy, then you can be a change agent for the world. If we get enough people doing that, focusing on the good aspects, on the energetic vibration of high vibration, then we will elevate all of mankind. I think we can do this. In fact, I know we can do this. I'm sure you've had an experience at some point in your life where you've been in the presence of somebody, and just by being in their presence, they make you feel better. It's as if everything seems easier. Suddenly, all your worries, all the cares that you have in the world seem to disappear for a little while. And they may not even say anything. It's just being in their presence. There's a certain amount of safety and security. And it's my intention that you get that from the podcast, that you get that from my energy, because that's the intention I have for all the listeners, that this message elevates you to a whole new level. I'm imbuing it with my energy. I'm sending my energy out in the world, and I'm attracting the people that will resonate with this message. I want the people that are an energetic match for this campaign, for this energy, for this project of elevating all of humanity. We're on the precipice, and I want to say you're the one. You're the one that can make a difference. You don't know you're not the one, but what if you are the one and you don't engage yourself? You don't take responsibility for your energy. And you're the one, if you were to step out into your power, that you would be the one to shift the scales and tip the scales to the other side. Just ping, you're the one that sends it over. You're the one. So while you're being selfish in maintaining your energy of elevating your vibration, you're actually doing it for all of mankind. You're doing it for the planet. You're doing it for all the animals. You're doing it for the entire universe. So if you've been sitting back over the last couple of years wondering, what can I do? What can I do? Like, I can't do anything. Well, this is what you can do. You can focus on being a source of love and light. Reclaim dominion over your energy. Neutralize the negative inputs. Oh, this is one thing that I want to add in to this. So hopefully you're still listening. You want to recall your spirit. You see, if you imagine yourself as a battery and you have all these connections, all these wires going back to different scenarios, different sections of your life, different relationships, you're feeding the memories. You're feeding energy to all those different things in your past. So you want to recall your spirit, recall your energy, clip the wire. Figuratively, imaginatively, but get a feeling that you're calling back your energy. You're no longer feeding that scenario, that past memory, because energetically it lives in the ether. It lives in that field of possibility. The longer that you feed it energy, the longer you keep it alive. You'll actually attract more vibration, more activity like that. So you want to recall your spirit, recall your energy. Anytime that you've had a past relationship, especially if you've engaged with them sexually, you have an energetic bond that's been created there, that it's important that you sever and call back your energy. Now, you can still respect the relationship, you can still hold it in high regard, but stop feeding the energy there, because you only have so much energy. And if you're not continually replenishing it by tapping into the God, Goddess, all that is, the divine energy, the flow moving through you, It's going to empty you. You'll age quicker. You'll have moodiness. Sometimes you'll be moody for no good reason because you're connected to something in your past. You see, this is such a huge responsibility, being responsible for your energy, being responsible for how you show up in the world. It has ramifications beyond just you. It impacts everybody. See, you're connected to all that is. So when you're taking care of yourself, this actually feeds into my mission for the world, because I want enough people in the world to get that you are responsible for your reality. You create your reality through your focus, how you allot energy. And this is really why you're here on the planet, to create and how to manage energy. There's no other reason for you to be alive than to create from nothing. Create because you say so, because you intend it. Now you're already manifesting. You're always creating the life you experience right now. You created through your intentions, through your beliefs, through your focus, your perceptions. So let's do it intentionally. Let's do it on purpose. You have the power. You are so powerful. You are powerful. You can create worlds. You can create reality from nothing. Okay, so here I am reviewing the last few minutes, and I don't remember what I said the last 15 minutes or so. So that is channeled information for the most part, and hopefully I didn't talk too fast. It was coming through pretty quickly. To just get your power. That's the only thing I want you to do, is get how powerful you are. So let me know what you got out of this. Join the Facebook group if you haven't already, at the Aligned Self Podcast Listeners Facebook group. And when you answer the questions, how did you hear about the Facebook group, you say, on the podcast. And that way I know you're one of the listeners. And I have noticed that we have had a recent increase in listenership, so I know some of you are brand new. And if you're new, by all means, subscribe to the podcast. And I have a lot more to say. I've done 50 episodes. I'm on track right now to hit 100 by New Year's Day, and I'll keep going. I have a lot to talk about. It's nuanced. It's subtle. We can get really granular. I've been doing a lot of broad strokes so far. We can get into some nitty-gritty stuff, some very esoteric stuff. So with that, I want to remind you that you can pick up the High Vibe Checklist at yesdaniel.com/43. You can check out the Intuition course and the short training there on the 6 steps to access your intuitive guidance. That's at yesdaniel.com/50. And there's also the offer to get involved in the Intuition course. But in the end, I want you to follow your bliss, follow your life, follow your inner guidance, and live the epic life. This is Daniel Dano V, wishing you the best.